Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into something pretty wild today. It's called the Grand Fibonacci theory,
Yeah,
and it gets pretty deep.
it does. It really does. It basically suggests that like everything in the universe operates on a symphony of frequencies. Planets, stars, even down to like our DNA and brain waves are all vibing together.
So, like, everything's in tune with each other. I'm trying to picture this.
Exactly, like a
Yeah.
giant cosmic orchestra. It all follows this kind of universal pattern.
Okay, that sounds kind of like sci-fi to me,
Right.
but I'm intrigued.
Well, think about it like this. We're used to music in certain scales, like the Western 12-tone system, right? But what if that's just a one tiny piece of a much bigger cosmic musical scale? This grand Fibonacci theory says there's a natural tuning system based on the frequencies of, like, celestial bodies, like planets and stars.
Wait, so you're saying the planets and stars are making music? How does that even work?
Yeah, so it's not music like you'd hear on the radio, but it's more about vibrational energy. Researchers have actually mapped the frequencies linked to the movements and the gravitational fields of planets, and they found some amazing patterns that emerge.
Patterns, huh? Like what kind of patterns?
Well, it's kind of like each planet has its own unique hum, and together they create this harmonic resonance. They all fit together.
Okay, a cosmic hum. I like that. But how did they measure the frequencies of planets? Like, did they stick a giant tuning fork out in space?
That's a great question. It's complicated, but they basically used mathematical models and astronomical data to figure out those vibrational frequencies. It's all based on the planet's orbital motion and how it interacts with other planets through gravity.
Right, got to factor in that gravity. So they crunched the numbers and they found this cosmic tuning system. What makes it so special?
What's wild is it's not random. When they mapped out the frequency ratios between the planets, they discovered this thing called supersymmetry.
Supersymmetry. Okay, now you're just using big words to make me feel dumb.
No, no. It's actually really cool. Imagine like a mirror image, right? Supersymmetry basically means there's a near perfect reciprocal relationship between those frequency ratios. So if you flip the ratio, you get almost the exact same value.
So there's a balance, a symmetry to the
Yeah.
universe.
Exactly. And that suggests this crazy underlying order, like a hidden code governing all the vibrations in the universe.
A hidden code. That is wild. But how does this all connect to us here on Earth, to life itself?
Well, that's where it gets even more mind-blowing. The Grand Fibonacci theory suggests that this cosmic tuning system doesn't stop at the planets. It could go all the way down to the building blocks of life, our DNA.
Hold on, wait a minute. Are you saying our DNA is vibing to the same cosmic tune as the planets?
You got it. And a perfect example is the frequency 528 hertz. This frequency seems to resonate with the structure of DNA, and some even believe it can help with cellular repair.
528 hertz. The DNA repair frequency. This is too much for me to handle. Is there actually science backing this up?
There's definitely growing research in this area, like sound healing and bioacoustics. That's looking into the effects of specific frequencies on biological systems. It's still early, but some studies show that 528 hertz might actually help cells repair themselves.
Wow, okay, so you're telling me there's a connection between how planets move and the essence of life itself? Like, how does that even work? Is our DNA like a tiny instrument playing along to the cosmic symphony?
Think of it like DNA is kind of like a tuning fork.
Hmm.
It's constantly vibrating, right?
Yeah.
And the Grand Fibonacci theory suggests that those vibrations match the same patterns we see in the cosmic tuning system, those fractal patterns.
So it's like our DNA is built to resonate with the universe's music.
Exactly. It's like we're all part of this grand cosmic orchestra.
We are made of stardust, right?
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And it really challenges how we think about biology, physics, even consciousness itself. But we're just getting started. Next, we'll explore how this universal tuning system might even apply to our own brain waves. That's where things get really trippy.
Brainwaves, huh? All right, I'm ready for the next level.
I think you're going to love this. It gets really personal.
Can't wait to hear it. Okay, so we've talked about this cosmic symphony that might be running the whole universe, but how does that tie into us? Like, what's happening in our own heads?
Well, you know how our brains have those electrical patterns, the brain waves?
Yeah, I've heard of those.
Well, those brain waves vibrate at different frequencies.
Right.
And guess what? They seem to line up with that same fractal scaling we see in those planetary frequencies, and even in DNA.
No way. So our brains are humming along to the same tune as the planets. This is getting a little too cosmic for me.
It's a wild concept, isn't it? It suggests that our brains might be like inherently tuned into the universe's symphony, like we're constantly picking up and processing all these vibrational signals.
Okay, so if our brains are already tuned in, is there a way we can tap into that intentionally? Like, can we control it somehow?
That's where things get really interesting. Think about practices like meditation or sound therapy. They've been used for centuries to change brainwave states and help people feel better. What if those practices are actually helping us to consciously align our brainwaves with the universe's frequencies?
So we can actually tune ourselves into those cosmic vibrations, like finding a radio station, but for the universe.
Exactly. And that opens up so many possibilities for healing and exploring our inner selves. By understanding how these frequencies affect our brains, we could potentially use sound and vibration to help us relax, focus, be more creative, maybe even have spiritual experiences.
Okay, this is blowing my mind, but let's get specific for a minute. We've talked about 528 hertz and DNA repair. Are there other frequencies that like do different things?
Oh, absolutely. There are tons, like the Schumann resonance, for example. It's about 7.83 hertz, and it's basically like the Earth's own electromagnetic heartbeat.
Wait, the Earth has a heartbeat. I've never heard of that.
It's always there in the background,
Yeah.
especially when you're out in nature. And studies have shown that it can actually have a calming effect on our nervous systems.
You know, it's funny you say that because I always feel more relaxed after spending time in nature. Like my mind just resets or something.
Exactly. And that's just one example. There's also the OM frequency at 136.1 hertz, which a lot of people associate with meditation and that sense of universal connection. And then there's 432 hertz, which some people believe is a more harmonious tuning for music than the standard 440 hertz.
Whoa, so many frequencies. It's like a whole pharmacy of sound. But how do we even begin to explore all of this? Where do we start?
Well, I think the most important thing is just to be aware. Pay attention to the sounds and vibrations around you. Notice how different frequencies make you feel. Maybe try things like meditation, sound healing, or just spending more time out in nature.
That's good advice. It seems like the more we learn about these frequencies, the more we realize just how connected we are to everything around us. Like we're all part of this huge web of vibration.
Exactly. And that connection goes way beyond just our planet. Remember we talked about gravity and how the grand Fibonacci theory suggests it might actually be a type of vibrational energy?
Oh, yeah. Like the cosmic bass line that holds everything together.
That's a great way to put it. Imagine this. Every planet and star is in motion, right? And those movements create vibrations that, like, ripple through space-time. And those vibrations interact and make these resonant fields, which we experience as gravity.
Whoa. So gravity isn't just pulling us down, it's more like a cosmic dance.
Right. And those vibrations might even hold the key to some of the biggest mysteries in the universe, like dark matter and dark energy. Some scientists think those things might actually be explained by missing vibrational modes in the cosmic symphony, like missing notes in the music.
Missing notes in the cosmic symphony, that's wild. So are they saying there's a whole hidden world of vibrations we haven't even discovered yet?
It's definitely a possibility. It shows how much we still don't know about the universe and what reality really is.
Okay, my head is spinning with all of this, but I want to bring it back down to earth for a second. If this grand Fibonacci theory is so powerful, how can we actually use it to improve our lives and make the world a better place? All right, so we've gone pretty deep down the rabbit hole here talking about DNA symphonies and the universe's heartbeat. But how do we actually bring this grand Fibonacci theory back down to earth? Like, how can we use it in our everyday lives?
Well, that's what I find so exciting about all of this. It really changes how we think about healing and well-being. It's all about, like, understanding that everything's connected through vibrations and using those frequencies to create more balance and harmony.
Okay, I get the connection part, but what does that mean practically? Are we talking about some kind of futuristic vibrational medicine?
You're actually not too far off. Imagine, like, a future where vibrational therapy is just as normal as taking vitamins or going for a jog. We're talking about using sound and specific frequencies to, like, heal at a cellular level, rebalance our energy, and even make our brains work better.
So it's like a high-tech tuning fork for our bodies. Sounds pretty out there. But is there actually any science to back this up?
The research is still pretty new, but it's really promising. There are studies showing that certain frequencies can change brainwave patterns, help people relax, and even make wounds heal faster. And as we learn more about how those frequencies work with our bodies, we can come up with even more targeted and effective therapies.
Let's get into some specifics. We already talked about 528 hertz and how it might help with DNA repair. What other frequencies are scientists looking at?
Well, there's the Schumann resonance, that 7.83 hertz frequency we talked about earlier. Some researchers think it could be helpful for people with anxiety and sleep problems. The idea is that by exposing people to that frequency, It could help regulate their sleep cycles and, calm their minds down.
Makes sense, since it's basically the Earth's natural rhythm, right? It's like bringing a little bit of nature indoors.
Exactly. And then there's 40 hertz, which is a frequency in the gamma brainwave range. That range is all about focus, learning, and memory. There are studies that suggest stimulating the brain with 40 hertz could help improve brain function for people with Alzheimer's.
So we could use sound to like retune our brains to work better?
Yeah, exactly. And the possibilities go way beyond specific illnesses. Think about using sound to boost your creativity, improve your meditation practice, or even reach deeper states of consciousness.
It's like a whole new level of human potential. But realistically, how accessible are these therapies? Do I need some expensive equipment to experience these benefits?
Not really. There are some simple and affordable tools out there already, like sound healing apps and binaural beats recordings. And of course, there are ancient practices like chanting and using singing bowls, which have been around for centuries. Those are all about using sound for healing and well-being.
It seems like we're rediscovering the power of sound in a whole new way.
For sure. And as we learn more about the grand Fibonacci theory, I think we're going to find even more amazing ways to use it. Just imagine a future where we can use sound and vibration not only to heal ourselves, but also to create a more peaceful and balanced world.
That's a beautiful thought. It really shows how this theory isn't just about science. It's about expanding our awareness and realizing that we're connected to something much bigger than ourselves.
I completely agree. And it highlights how important it is to work together across different fields. We need physicists working with biologists, musicians with neuroscientists, and everyone embracing a more holistic view of the universe and our place in it.
It's inspiring to think about all the possibilities when we start to see the world through this vibrational lens. So what's the one thing you'd like our listeners to take away from all of this?
I think the most important thing is to remember that you are a vibrational being. You're constantly interacting with frequencies, both inside you and all around you. Just start paying attention to those vibrations. See how different frequencies make you feel. And remember, you have the power to tune yourself to the harmony of the universe.
That's a great way to wrap things up. Thanks for taking us on this amazing journey through the grand Fibonacci theory. I have a feeling this is just the beginning.
Definitely. We've only just started to explore the universe's vibrational tapestry. Who knows what we'll find next?
That's the beauty of these deep dives. There's always more to discover. Thanks for listening, everyone, and keep those vibes high.